Mixing glass. That's this right here. You can find them over here for those of you who are new. Take it. And then we're going to start with our whiskey, our spirit. We're going to have 2 ounces of it. Casey, what kind of whiskey do you like?
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, a classic American.
So talk a little bit about it.
Alright, Jack Daniels. It's actually from Tennessee, Lynchburg. I encourage you to read the labels on all the things that you commonly use. Jack Daniels, look at that. Population 361. If you want Lynchburg, Tennessee whiskey, this is the quintessential, this is what you want.
This is a sour mash.
Yeah.
And it's a bourbon.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you know what
it's a bourbon.
No.
Do you know what a sour mash means?
Sour mash.
It's the
I'm
wine.
studying
It's
in my
true.
whiskeys now. I'm
Okay.
just going across the country.
I think also you really want to specify on the liquor, especially the first day, and then refer them to this chapter where they can look it up.
Sour mash is where they reuse.
When are they going to
They reuse part of the mash for the next distillation. So part of the old, mash that they used for the last brew, for the last batch of whiskey, they reuse. And also because it's from Tennessee, it means they filter it through a wall of charcoal.
They can read that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
so
want to
let's get on
overwhelm
with
them
the
on the
drink.
first
Yeah.
day with just a flood of information.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright, Jack Daniels is a bourbon whiskey. It's from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to start off 2 ounces of this. We're going to take our jigger. For those of you who are new, this is the jigger that we're going to be using in this class. This is very handy because there's a series of notches, and on each of the notches it indicates the measurement. With this one here, as you can see, we have 1 ounce, 2 ounces, 3 ounces. Then if we flip it over, we have a ½ ounce, 3/4 ounce, and 1.5 ounces. These are very common measurements that you're going to find in just about all drinks. Occasionally you'll have minor adjustments to that, but this is what you're going to use for all of your measurements for this class. Alright, so we're going to take it. We're going to count out 2 ounces.
Oh, we want to do it next to the glass and a little bit about.
Oh yeah. Alright, so we have 2 ounces of whiskey. Dump that right in our glass. Set that down. Make sure to put the bottle back. Always label facing out, so that when the next
Right.
bartender comes by, they say,
Right.
oh, Jack Daniels is here. If you're
Right.
facing that way,
Right.
they're not going to find it. People are going to waste minutes, and the manager's going to yell at you.
One other good thing to point out is also that the pours are always flagged to the left.
Mm.
So that way it's always uniform, and for righties to just grab the bottle and pour.
Yeah.
And as a lefty, I'm a habit. I always grab the bottle and spin it in my hand,
Mm.
and that's habit.
Also, when pouring your liquor, the way you want to grab the bottle by the neck. That's this part up here. Have 1 finger on top to secure this, because
Very
as you can
good,
see, this
yeah.
is a bit loose. I don't want to be pouring the bottle like that. That's just going to spill all over the place.
Good.
You want it, so spout always going straight into your jigger, into your glass.
And I also want to mention for everyone, every time you hold a bottle, especially, get used to saying, I'm going to hold the bottle by the neck and put my finger on the pour. Again, it's like all brainwashing, so they get used to in instinct to, okay, I'm going to hold it by this and I'm going to put this. Like, if you say it out loud, it's a brainwash system.
Alright.
Yeah, because you're controlling essentially their RAS,
habits.
what they're focusing on, like their reticular activation system. When you talk about something, they look at what you're talking about, and then they ingrain that habit.
Yeah.
They start mirroring it. Versus if you don't say
Okay.
it, then they look at other things. They look at the
Right.
liquid coming down. They look at the lights. So
Alright. Next ingredient in our recipe is the sweet. I'm going to use a simple syrup, and it says for 3/4 parts. So, we're going to take our simple syrup right here. Find the measurement we need, 3/4, second one right here. Take it, hold it over the glass.
Nice.
Do it slowly, just so as not to over pour. There we go. That's a nice 3/4 ounce pour.
What if I pour too much?
If you pour a little too much, so that's definitely a bit higher. It's going to overpower the whiskey. If you have to, simple syrup, no one's going to get mad at you if you just pour a little bit into the dump sink you have there. I dumped a little too much out. Just add a tiny bit more. It's better to have something perfect than have something done quick. Alright, so dump that in. Next up, what's next on our list? We need
The citrus.
the citrus. Alright, for this, we're going to use this as our citrus today. This is our sweet and sour mix, or OJ, depending on the day of the week. So we're going to take this, do it very slowly because we have a wide spout here, so that we have 3/4 ounces. Again, I went a little bit over, so just
Nice.
a little bit out there.
One thing that I'm noticing as you're teaching is if you pour, like, the closer the spout is, and the closer, especially if you're a smaller, like if it's like a woman, the closer it is to their center line of their body. So if you're holding this like right, if you see that down the middle, then it's going to be more stable, especially when they're beginning and they're nervous.
You don't want to
You'll
pour out
see-
here like that or anything. You want to be standing,
Yeah.
facing your customer. Pour very carefully.
Nice.
Get it right, exactly the height you want. Then dump it right
Very
in there.
nice.
All right.
And that's what's going to let these 5-foot, 100-pound girls, like, do 2 bottles at once, because they're pouring. Everything is in line with their center, and their
Exactly.
elbows are in.
Mm.
So you want to make sure that as they're learning, especially when you guys start doing slow tests with them, when you're like, just make a drink, go as slow as you want. That's one of those cues that you want to be checking for.
All right. Glassware we're going to be using for this particular drink. Sours, they can go in a number of glasses. They can go in the daiquiri glasses or a rocks glass. I'm going to use a rocks glass today.
I think this is what I'm going to ask you to do. When we have specific lessons with specific glasses, put all of them out.
Okay. So we can have assorted glassware here. We can have big rocks glass, a daiquiri
Margarita.
glass, a
Cocktail glass will work too.
This one.
Collins glass.
So Collins too.
Not for sours.
And I call it a margarita
Where
glass.
are the glasses
not
that
daiquiri.
they can use?
Yeah, you're right.
I know that you can use it.
So we
in
can
like
use
the
cocktail
martini
rocks and
glass.
sours.
Do we have a baby rocks glass? Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And in some cases, we'll use a baby rocks glass. For this one, I think
Doesn't make sense. Where are the glasses in this lesson?
It's right there. So we have
Is it
cocktail,
one?
rocks, and sour glasses.
So we get a
That's
coupe
not
glass?
a cocktail glass. That's not a rock. What glass is this one?
That's a
rocks
margarita.
glass.
Yeah, so that's a rocks. That's a double rocks or an old fashioned, and that's a Collins. So I would get rid of the Collins and just use a cocktail glass or
That's
margarita
it.
glass.
No, not this one.
Yeah.
This one we don't.
it says on I think on one of these I saw Collins. I may have misread it.
That's
Sorry
no worries.
about that.
We can use
Okay.
the daiquiri. This one, or I use daiquiri margarita glass for a daiquiri.
No, we use it for margaritas, but that's in this lesson.
Yeah, but why are we showing this now? Let's take this out of the way, so it won't be confusing. Let's take this out of the way. Let's leave this too. This is
Okay.
on ice and this is up,
Yeah.
so it makes it so much easier. And then you just show the glasses. You
Okay.
say this is for up, this is for this.
All right, so we're gonna serve this in a rocks glass. I'm gonna go ahead and get some ice in here. Let this chill.
So one of the things they have to ask the customers, would you like it up or on the rock? So I think we have to get it into a habit of telling them, you have to ask your customer, how would you like your drink?
Yes. Let's assume the customer wants their drink on the rocks. You can serve it in a cocktail glass like this with no ice
So
at
how
all.
would you know?
You would have to ask your customer.
Right, okay.
So, we have our sour all ready to be shaken. The mixing method for this is shake and strain. So we're going to take it, take a scoop of ice,
And
make
then
sure.
I cup my, you
Yep,
can
I
say
cut
that.
my hand so that when I pour this out, you saw that I lost one of these cubes here. If that had skidded across the counter into your lap, that'd just be a huge mess. I'd get no tip, and no one would like me.
Right.
So, we make sure to cup, we pour the ice in, and then we're going to get ready to shake it. So we're going to take our mixing tin, line it up like that, give it a good smack down. So, I can hold it up like that. There's a good vacuum seal there. I'm going to take it, flip it like this, and then when I shake it, you have one hand on top, one on the bottom, shake it over your shoulder, and always make sure that you have the tin this way and the glass going down, because if I have it like this, something might splash out, get my customer, people get angry, I don't like that. This way, if there is a slight break in the seal, it'll either go on me or go behind me. No one gets hurt, everything's okay. Now when you shake it for about 10 seconds and give it a good hard shake.
Do the face.
Alright. Now, breaking the seal, some people, they'll try to twist it. That doesn't always work, especially if the glass has some moisture on it. So what you want to do, see where the seal is right there? And it goes nice and flush. Go about 90 degrees from that. Loosens it right up. Dump it. Letting the residue strain. Put your mixing tin away. That's nicely mixed up, as you can see. We take our strainer, put it in, hold it down, make sure these wings are over the side there,
Right,
keep a finger on top, and just strain it into your glass.
to the last drop. To the last drop, you can say that.
Yep, right to the last drop. As you can see, no waste. If you have a bit of waste there, the customer might get angry, might say, hey, you're skimping on my drink.
But one of the things that you can tell them always, I would always end it by saying what's most important, that it's just the most professional way to do it.
Yep, that's it. Just strain it out to the last drop. Take a glass, dump the ice out, put your glass away so it's ready to wash. And then we garnish with an orange and a cherry, and we call that a flag. And we serve, take one of our napkins, take a little stir there, stick it right along the edge.
Tell them like about not to put it in the middle and why.
Mhm.
It can really ruin the drink or the logo or whatever.
Now some bartenders I see, they'll take the stir or the straw and just kind of jam it into the center there, and certain drinks you definitely cannot do that. It will disturb it, it will mix up the balance of the
Right.
flavors, and it can just destroy the quality of some of the ingredients. What you want to do, take it, slide it right along the edge there, and what I like to do, I like to have it pointing a certain direction, so when I serve it, say I'm serving 10 of these, each of the straws is pointing at the customer it's going to. Nice little trick.
Another thing that I like to tell them is it's almost like the drink, you're not done making the drink until you're kind of extending yourself. Like the drink isn't done when you're done making the drink. It's done when you hand it and then they drink it and they close their eyes or something. That's when the drink is finished. So that kind of sense of your presence, especially when you were in New York and you saw that Japanese bartender, that sense of expression that you're making this for them doesn't stop in your head until they consume it. And then you look at their reaction. That's your grade right there. Is did you make that person's
Yeah, I like
day or
for
not?
them to learn this, by the way.
That's
I
in
like
our
for you
bar
to connect
psychology
with them
section.
so they would on a habit, would wait